ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we'll offer a prayer which is specifically meant for Lord Jagannath. Please repeat. Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Today I was thinking that I'll speak something on Jagannath, but then I was thinking with more greed that if we speak and hear about Jagannath's devotees, then we will become more intense in our devotion. In fact, when I was reading about this personality, about his life sketch, about his pastimes, it was really giving me goosebumps. And it gives a lot of desire also. When we hear about some devotees who practice nice bhakti, who are very great in their devotion to the Lord, it gives a lot of inspiration. Mujhe bhi aisa bhakti karna, I also want to do. So get ready. Today's pastime is like that. This personality will leave us mesmerized through his devotion. He'll leave us with goosebumps and maybe eyes also wet. Such a wonderful personality. So before I speak about him, let's go back to 1700s. Mughal time. So all the Mughal rulers were there, the Muslim rulers. So in India, in different places, there were Indian kings. So we had various different kings, famous kings all around India. But the system at that time was that the Mughal emperor is there and they all would work under him. So they all were ruled by the Mughal king or the Mughal emperor, and the Indian kings would work under him. And the Mughal emperor, he would employ some representatives. In each place where the king would be there, along with that there will be one representative of the Mughal king also. And they were called as Subedars. So they were the representatives of the Mughals, the Mughal rulers. In Odisha, in 1720, Odisha is also called Utkal Desh. So at that time, in Utkal, there was a king called Ramachandra Dev, Gajapati Ramachandra Dev. So there were two Ramachandra Devs in this entire kingly disciplic succession of Odisha. So one was in a very early times, and in 1700s he was the second one. So the first one is called as Gajapati Ramachandra Dev I, and he is Gajapati Ramachandra Dev II. Now this personality, Ramachandra Dev, he was the king of Odisha at that time. As I said, so the Mughal emperor, he employed one Subedar to take care of Odisha, along with this king, Ramachandra Dev. And his name was Taki Khan. So Taki Khan, he had his headquarters in Cuttack, and very cruel person. He was against all the Hindus, all the Hindu customs, all the various rituals. He was known for torturing all the Hindus. He was known to break the Hindu temples. This was the glory of this personality, Taki Khan. And he would always keep an eye on Jagannath Puri main temple, the Sri Mandir, how to go there and plunder the entire temple. These Mughals at that time, they just wanted to break the temples. That was one of the things that they would do. They would go and attack the place, and the first thing that they would do is break the temples, kidnap the females there, and forcefully marry them and take them. And this personality, Taki Khan, he was collecting a lot of money. And this money was in the form of tax. Who will pay the tax? All those Hindus who would come to take darshan of Jagannath, they have to pay a heavy tax. Now this was the condition in Jagannath Puri. Talking about Ramachandra Dev, so this personality was staying close to Puri in a place called Khurda, at other places called Khorda. So one and the same. So this personality had his palace there in Khurda. And it is very nice to know that he had many wonderful wives, many wonderful kids, very, very wonderful life in the palace. And he was one of the great devotees of Jagannath. To such an extent that every day he will travel from Khurda, he'll come to Puri just to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. Very, very great devotee. And it is described that whenever Ramachandra, they would come to the temple, all the Pandits in the temple, they would welcome him, very, very grand welcome. They would honor him in various ways. And this personality, Gajapati, Ramachandra Dev, he would stand in front of the Lord, take darshan to his fullest. Every single day this he would do. See, this is one of the things that we see in common in all the great devotees of the Lord. They just stand in front of the Lord and they keep offering prayers and keep taking darshan of the Lord. Even when it comes to Srila Prabhupada, whenever he would go to any temple which he himself established, he would go there and stand in front of the deities for a long time. He'll keep offering prayers. And once devotees asked that, Prabhupada, what are you doing standing here for a long time? And Prabhupada said that I'm checking with the deities if you're taking care of them properly or not. And then the devotees, they started saying, Prabhupada, we do this every day. And Prabhupada said, I know, they already told me. Prabhupada is another wonderful personality, a great, great devotee. And Ramachandra Dev would have this darshan every single day. And on the day of Rath Yatra, these Gajapatis of Jagannath Puri, they would do this wonderful service. That is, they would broom the entire street where Lord Jagannath's Rath will be pulled. Nandi Ghosh Rath will be pulled. This is so wonderful to note that as soon as a person grows in bhakti and becomes great in devotional service and gets closer and closer to perfection, we will see the humility of that person also increases with time. Initially, humility is maybe we are trying to fake it till we make it. That's the initial phase of ours. But as we go higher and higher in Krishna consciousness, higher stages of bhakti, especially when we cross the stage of anartha nivritti and reach nishtha, so it is described that that is the time when devotees will develop all these wonderful qualities, and one of them is humility. See, a king who has got everything, so many wonderful wives, so many wonderful kids, so many servants, sitting on a golden chariot or a golden singhasan or a golden palanquin, they holding a broom and cleaning the entire street, oh, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And Ramachandra, they would do that. And in Jagannath Puri, so there was one custom where on the Ekadashi Tithi, one of the Sevites there, he would climb up the temple at the top and he will lit a lamp. And this lamp will be lit in the name of the Gajapati king of that time. So during the time of Ramachandra Dev, this lamp would be lit in his name and the prayers would be offered for his protection. So in this way, a very nice life was going on of Ramachandra Dev, his wonderful devotional service to Lord Jagannath, his wonderful family, everything was going well. But Taki Khan is not going to remain quiet, no? He had his own plans. All the time he had an eye on the Jagannath temple. And somehow these Mughals, they wanted to come and destroy Jagannath temple. And so many times they did. So many times. All glories to these kings of that time. Oh, amazing, amazing. Their life and soul was Jagannath. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramai, Sudarshan, they were their life and soul. Even for Ramachandra Dev, they were the life and soul. It so happened, Taki Khan was planning to attack Jagannath Puri. And Ramachandra Dev, at that time, he attacked Taki Khan's place. And it is described, Ramachandra Dev fought with his army. But then what to do? Taki Khan was more strong and he got defeated. Ramachandra Dev got defeated. Now Ramachandra Dev, he was there, his palace was in Kharda, and Taki Khan was in Cuttack. So he was captured, Ramachandra Dev was captured, he was arrested, he was put in prison in Cuttack. Now see, when this person is there in the jail, look at the thought process of this devotee. He is not thinking, kaise bahar niklu? You know what he is thinking? He's worried. He's worried that what would happen to Jagannath and Jagannath's temple. He's all the time thinking about protection of the temple, protection of his dear deity Jagannath. This is the mode of a missionary. Missionaries don't think about themselves. Missionaries like these great devotees, Ramachandra Dev, they don't think about themselves. Common public, they think about themselves. Ordinary devotees think about themselves. But missionary devotees, they always think about the Lord and his devotees and how to spread the mission of Krishna consciousness. And look at Ramachandra Dev's thought process. He wanted to protect Jagannath. He wanted to protect Sri Mandir. Many such great devotees have been there in the past. Normally we hear that Krishna protects his devotees. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhayuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Krishna says, I will protect, I will take care of my devotees. And here look at these great devotees. They want to protect the Lord. They want to protect the temple. In this way, we always see all the great devotees in the past, they always had this mood wherein they wanted to protect the mission, protect the Lord, protect the temple and so on. They always had that worry. Always. See, Srila Prabhupada, when he was there in Vrindavan, before going to West. So when he was in Vrindavan, he had a wonderful status in the entire place. Everyone would greet Srila Prabhupada. Whenever Prabhupada would walk on the street, everyone would greet Srila Prabhupada. In fact, Vrindavan is the place where the Sadhu Samaj gave the title Bhakti Vedanta to Srila Prabhupada. So everyone would greet Srila Prabhupada, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. And Prabhupada would also greet, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So wonderful. Everything is set. But guess what? This personality, in his ripe old age, is in Vrindavan. Life is set. The only thing that he could have done was continue his devotional service and leave the body in Braj Bhumi Sri Vrindavan Dham. But when he was in Vrindavan, when everything was set, Srila Prabhupada had this worry. How will people get to know about Vrindavan who are there all across the globe? He had this worry all the time. He had this worry that how will Lord Chaitanya's message reach every nook and corner of this world? He had this worry that the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prithivite Ache Jatan Agradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoive Mora Nam, how will this get accomplished? He's sitting in Radha Damodar Mandir and he's breaking his head. He's worrying so much thinking about this. This is how devotees worry all the time. And one point is very clear. Till the point we worry about ourselves, our life will always be miserable. Note it down if you want. Bold letters. Till the point we worry about ourselves in this material world, we and our family, our life will be miserable. But the time when we start worrying about the mission for the pleasure of Lord and His devotees, life will be blissful. When Srila Prabhupada was going through that tough phase in the West, Srila Prabhupada writes that nothing was affecting him. He was blissful. Externals were very tough. Food, shelter, clothing was a problem. But Srila Prabhupada was blissful. What is the secret of that bliss? The secret of that bliss is how much we think for the benefit of others. Recently I was hearing His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, one of the Prabhupada disciples. He was talking to his disciple. And his disciple was saying that, can you please give me feedback on my classes? Where can I improve? My style is this particular way I give my class. So how can I improve? How can I change so that people can understand my classes better? Maharaj said, you cannot change yourself, or you need not change yourself. What personally I do is, I just try to have that feeling of concern in the heart always for people around, and naturally the words that come pierces the heart of people who are hearing. And he said, he gave an instruction saying, cultivate that concern for others in this material world. So as soon as we are concerned about people around us, we will see, at least we observe this, we experience also, that everything in our life falls in place. Everything in our life falls in place. And here we see that how this devotee, Ramachandra Dev, he was worrying so much, he's not thinking about how to come out of the jail. He's thinking about how to protect Jagannath, how to protect Sri Mandir. This was the whole thought process that was going on. Now, Taki Khan, he was thinking about minting money. So he came up with a proposal. His main income was tax collection from those innocent devotees who would come to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of Jagannath. But then Ramachandra Dev, since he was a strong king, he would always put some opposition towards this. So Taki Khan, he felt, this is the right time. Let me propose something to Ramachandra Dev. And if he accepts this proposal, it will be very easy for me to collect tax without any opposition. And the proposal was, Taki Khan wanted Ramachandra Dev to marry his sister. And his sister's name was Rijiya. Taki Khan had a sister called Rijiya, and he wanted Ramachandra Dev to marry Rijiya. And the entire plan was amazing. According to Taki Khan, that if Ramachandra Dev marries my sister Rijiya, we'll have family bonding, family relation, then I can go and easily collect taxes. Isko kehte demonic thought process. Demons, I tell you. Now when this was told, okay, by the way, please understand one thing. If Ramachandra Dev marries this girl from Muslim background, what does that mean? He has to get converted from Hindu to Muslim. And as soon as Ramachandra Dev heard this, he said, no ways. This is not going to happen ever. No. And after some time, Rijiya herself, she came to propose. And then she revealed something very, very nice, very confidential thing to Ramachandra Dev. All these discussions happening in the prison, where Rijiya is speaking to Ramachandra Dev and Ramachandra Dev is behind the bars. And Rijiya is saying that actually my mother was a Hindu. She is a great devotee of Jagannath. But my father forcefully married her. And because of that, externally, she might be looking like a Muslim, but internally, she is a great devotee of Jagannath. And she also revealed that same is the case with me. I am also a devotee of Jagannath. This is what is my heart's feeling, O King. See, during that time, as I said, when these Mughals would attack, they would kidnap, various beautiful females of that place, especially the Brahmanas, the ladies of Brahmana families. And they would be very beautiful. Many times people ask this question, that how come these people having this background of Muslims, they look nice. The females are beautiful, the males are handsome. How come? One of the devotee who did research, he was telling that these Mughals, when they came, they were all ugly. But the ladies of India were so beautiful. And the outcome which came was beautiful. You see? So this was the scene, all the time would happen, and this happened with Regia's mother also. And she revealed this. And guess what she said? That I would request you that please accept the proposal of my brother. And if you accept the proposal of my brother, our Jagannath temple will be saved. And she was saying that, see, marrying you, not marrying you is not something which I am thinking. I am thinking about saving Jagannath temple. Oh, this is the mood of devotees. Everyone is just focusing on the Lord and His temple. And when this she requested, at the first go, Ramachandra Dev didn't like the proposal. He said, see, if I marry you and I touch your body, I'll be converted into Muslim. And immediately Hindu community will reject me. I don't know, something was wrong with Sanatanis at that time, who are also called as Hindus. Say, some Muslim person comes and spits at some Hindu, immediately he'll be outcast. No, you're not part of our community. Such a stupid thing. And in this way, many Hindus at that time got converted. And Srila Prabhupada, he tells in the classes, this was the foolishness of Hindus at that time. This was the thing that happened. And same thing, Ramachandra Dev is also speaking same thing. He's saying, if I do this, doesn't matter how great devotee I am of Lord Jagannath, these people will reject me. She said one thing very nice, very touching. She said, O king, see, if this is the case, that you touching me will convert you, you please marry me, but don't touch me. No need to touch me. I will keep you in my heart and I'll worship you, because you are a great devotee of Jagannath. I'll worship you in my heart. And in this way, at least our temple of Jagannath will be saved. This is mode of missionary. This is mode of missionary. One thing that we understand throughout is the life and soul of these people at that time was Jagannath, the Lord of the entire universe, Lord Krishna. They didn't have anything of their own. They were living their life for the Lord. And this is what Srila Prabhupada taught us, isn't it? Srila Prabhupada has taught us this one thing, which somehow got diluted with time. That we are meant to live for the pleasure of the Lord. That's it. We are meant to live and always think that how can I give pleasure to the Lord? Even in Sri Rangam, you will see this. So we have the temple and then we have 7 gates. And all the devotees would live around the temple. And their life and soul was the Lord who is there in the temple. From 365 days, 350 plus days, they have festivals. Every day, almost every day. And all the devotees around, their life and soul is Sri Ranganath. I remember before COVID, I had been to this place. And early in the morning, so many people were rushing towards the temple. And when I'm saying this, so many people early in the morning rushing towards the temple. Which other temple do you remember? Yes, Mayapur. Early in the morning, 4:30, all the devotees from all directions are running. And if any new person comes there, they'll think, what's wrong with everyone? What do you mean by everyone running towards one place? It means that place where some personality is there, he is very, very important for all the devotees. Early in the morning, why will people run? Everyone is running to take darshan of the Lord. This was always the mood in the Vedic custom, in the Vedic culture, where Lord is the center, and this is what Srila Prabhupada taught us. Srila Prabhupada said that always Krishna should be the center of our life, and whatever we are doing should always be around Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. And especially for Grihastha devotees, this is very, very important. Because at times it so happens that sometimes husband becomes the center. And wife says, Chal hat, I am center. And kids tell you both get lost. We are the center. So in this way, in the family life, always the center will keep changing. And as soon as the center changes, immediately there's a tussle. Immediately, there are a lot of misunderstandings and bitter feelings. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, keep Krishna in the center of life. And when Krishna is center, naturally everyone else in the family will be aligned and will live a very, very harmonious life, happy, blissful life. And look at this. Ramachandra Dev is thinking about temple and Jagannath. Here Rijya is thinking about the temple and Jagannath. And this discussion is all missionary discussion. In the year 1970, in like 1969, one girl came to Bhakti in France when Srila Prabhupada was preaching. 1966, ISKCON was established. So you can imagine in a few years, Prabhupada went to France also. And there the movement started. And 1969, this lady, she became part of ISKCON. 1970, she got initiated by Srila Prabhupada. And one day, Srila Prabhupada was sitting in his room. And Srila Prabhupada had just come from Russia. So Srila Prabhupada went to Russia for 3 days. In that, he preached 3 people or 2 people. And one of them became a great devotee called Ananta Shanti Prabhu. He was that first devotee and he was that spark who created the fire in Russia. Now see, in that 1 day or 2 days, Srila Prabhupada couldn't give a lot of things. How much training will Srila Prabhupada give? Especially about deity worship and others. So Srila Prabhupada called this lady, whose initiated name was Mandakini Mataji. So Her Grace Mandakini Mataji was called. This was the year 1971. And Srila Prabhupada told Mandakini Mataji that I want you to go to Russia and marry Ananta Shanti Prabhu. Now for your information, entering Russia at that time means getting into jail or getting nice beatings or dying in the hands of cop, all the cops there. The cops would beat the devotees like anything. And Mandakini Mataji knew all this. And it also meant that she had to leave this luxurious setup of devotee association, temple and all that. Russia, there was no temple. Here we have temple, in France, temple, and then devotees, Srila Prabhupada, books. Russia, nothing. And as soon as Mandakini Mataji was asked by Srila Prabhupada, I want you to go and marry Ananta Shanti Prabhu. And Mandakini Mataji said, okay, Prabhupada. And she left. Can you imagine this? Firstly, she don't know who is Ananta Shanti Prabhu. She has never seen him. The only thing she knows is my spiritual master wants me to go there so that I can assist in the mission. I will go. This is called as missionary mode of devotees. Anything for the mission. Anything for the mission. She came in 1969. 1971, she's transported to some other place. Just imagine, this year anyone who comes for Gita course, after 2 years we ship them to South Africa. Go and open a Bhakti center. A branch of ISKCON Bhakti Center, Panathur. Tell me how many of us will go there? At least, for me it will be difficult. 2 years old in Krishna consciousness, what can we do? But at that time, the devotees, they were so missionary, so very missionary. They would just think about the mission. In fact, it is described, when devotees were preaching during Srila Prabhupada's time, every single devotee would feel that in next few days, we are going to conquer the entire world. That was the fire in their preaching at that time. In fact, Srila Prabhupada also said that I have an 18-day plan to conquer the entire world. But as of now, you people are not ready for that. That was the fire of mission at that time. Anyways, coming to this pastime. So when Rijya spoke about saving the temple, that touched the heart of Ramachandra Dev. And at that time, Ramachandra Dev, he agreed for the proposal. Again, mind you, this is a very big sacrifice. Very big sacrifice. Okay, what all it means, when you say that we are sacrificing or I'm giving up my religion or marrying this Muslim girl, what all it means. First and foremost, the person is converted. Second thing, his name will be changed. And by the way, his name was Hafiz Kadir Khan. That was his name, Hafiz Kadir Khan. This was the name given to him. Another thing, as soon as the name is changed, the religion is changed, the Hindu communities will reject him. Now just think about this. This was the thing that happened in the life of Ramachandra Dev. Such a wonderful, great devotee, but he sacrificed his treasure. He sacrificed his treasure just for the sake of the Lord and the temple. He got converted. He married Rigia. But Rigia didn't go to Khurda, to their palace. In fact, he would come, to Cuttack to meet her once in a week. Maybe the plan was everyone will get to know if we go there and things like that. But somehow one thing is there, the negative news will spread very fast. And very soon the news spread everywhere that the great king Gajapati Ramachandra Dev has got converted. And now his name is Hafiz Kadir Khan. Now this was the news everywhere. And as soon as this news, was received by people in Jagannath Puri, they were not happy. This was the sacrifice that I was talking about. See, in spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness, two things are very important. What do we give to the Lord and what we give up for the Lord? Very important. What we give to the Lord for His pleasure and what we give up for the Lord for His pleasure. And we see, for example, again, Srila Prabhupada. As I said, everything was set in Vrindavan. But for Lord's pleasure, He gave up Vrindavan. He left Vrindavan. For writing books, Srila Prabhupada gave up his sleep. Russian devotees, they gave up their life to spread the mission of Krishna consciousness. They gave up all these different things. Now, obviously, we are not expected to give up our life and give up all this, give up sleep and all that. Okay, what are we expected to give to the Lord first? Tell me that. What are we supposed to give for the pleasure of the Lord? What is that? Attention, okay. Okay, time and sincerity, very nice. Okay, our senses, our words. Okay, our speech. We should give our speech to the Lord. Our time. The services that we do, we should give it to the Lord. Okay. Okay, someone else from behind. Okay, we should give bhoga to the Lord. Whatever we cook, we should give that to the Lord first. Yes. And? Okay, surrender on to Lord. Whatever we have, give everything. Mata is saying, give everything. Prabhuji's, they gave already everything. Yes, we have to be dependent on the Lord. See, this is very clear that we are supposed to give our consciousness to the Lord. We should give our time, we should give our energy, we should give and all the strength that we have. We say in Hindi, tan, man, dhan. Everything should be given to the Lord for His service. In this way, in ISKCON, at least we are expected that if you want to give something to the Lord, give your time. Chant 16 rounds minimum every day. Attend these satsang. Now just imagine, every single devotee who is sitting here, Sunday morning, 11 o'clock, can aram to sit at home or go for some afternoon show in movie theaters with some popcorn. Yes. Or you can go for some other trip around. After all, you get one weekend. IT professionals, only one weekend, right? So as soon as someone enters this place, it means that person is giving his time to the Lord. He's sacrificing his time for the pleasure of Lord. Such a big thing, I tell you. Such a big thing. It's not ordinary. It's not ordinary. Because in this world, many times people say, time nahi hai, time nahi hai. And in that, if devotees enter this temple with a mood that I want to sit and hear about the Lord, chant His holy names, take His darshan, let me tell you, we are all there in the top priority list of the Lord. Lord's keeping a watch on all of us. When He's talking maybe to His associates, whom to get from Panathur back home, back to Godhead. Maybe they'll have a discussion, they'll say, let's look into Bhakti Center Panathur. Who all come on Sunday morning for the program. It might be humorous, but it's very serious. It's a very serious thing, and I really appreciate all the devotees who come regularly, for these programs. You're giving time. Every day when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, 16 rounds. How many of you do 16 rounds every day? Very bol, so many. There's no number that exists below 16. So when we're chanting 16 rounds every day, what does that mean? We're giving our consciousness to the Lord. Yes, 16 rounds, 2 hours. Not easy. And all those devotees who have altar at home, whatever new thing we get, first we offer it to the Lord. I'm sure everyone who has installed altars, you all know, right? We have installed 52 altars. 52. I'm not counting other centers. I'm just counting out Panathur and Sarjapur centers. So all those 52 families, for them, their life and soul is the Lord. And this is what everyone says. We're such a big altar in size. Naturally, they feel koi to khada idhar. And whatever we get, we first offer it to the Lord. Whatever we cook, we offer it to the Lord. This is called as giving. Okay, what do we give up for the pleasure of the Lord? Now Prabhuji's will tell. What should we give up for the pleasure of the Lord? Huh? We should give a false ego. Yes, we should give a false ego. And what is that? We should give up. What we should give up? Okay, material desires we should give up, okay? Sense gratification we should give up. Mataji's? Okay, laziness, okay, laziness. Give up for it. We should give up the sinful activities. And the 4 pillars of sin, which Srila Prabhupada always mentioned. Give up meat eating. Give up gambling. Give up intoxication. Give up illicit sex. And Srila Prabhupada was very profound on these points. Give up. Give up. And when it comes to other things to give up the association of those people who take us away from Krishna. Give up. Therefore, it is very important to note, one of the important things that we should give up is our preconceived notions with which we come to bhakti. Some preconceived notions are always there. According to me, this is correct. See, Prabhuji kuch bhi bole, Shastra kuch bhi bole, lekin I feel that this is correct. This is what is right. This is what should be done. These are the preconceived notions, and one thing that I see, that these are the big obstacles in the life of devotees. All these preconceived notions in the head, they might be very sincere, they might hear all the classes, they might chant good number of rounds, but these preconceived notions does not allow devotees to proceed in their Krishna conscious journey. The one thing that we should give up is give up these preconceived notions and follow the instruction of the Guru, giving up one's own false ego. Therefore, these are things that we have to give up. They gave up their life. Ramachandra Dev gave up his faith. He gave up his religion. He gave up the treasure. And we are expected to give up these small, small things of this material world. Just for the pleasure of the Lord. Just for the pleasure of the Lord. Now, in this news spread everywhere, there was a great havoc that happened. Sacrifice was done by Ramachandra Dev with the mood that the temple will be protected, Jagannath will be protected, and literally it happened. Till the point Ramachandra Dev was there on the throne. Nothing happened to the temple. But this sacrifice came back as a backlash. It came back. In what way it came back? It came back in a very, very negative way, where the Pandits in the Mukti Mandap, the Brahmanas, in the management of Jagannath temple, they were very sad to hear that how come our king Gajapati got converted? They were very sad. The first thing that they did was, they didn't allow the king to enter the temple to take darshan of Jagannath. This was the treasure which I was talking about. This he sacrificed. They didn't allow. The second thing, forget about welcoming nicely and all that. He was not allowed at the gate itself. No, not allowed. Second thing, he was not allowed to sweep the street during Jagannath Rath Yatra. Now devotees might say, it's okay bro, anyways, kaam ho gaya uska. For them, it was their heart and soul to serve Jagannath, and that was removed. That service was removed. Devotees' heart pains when service is removed and your Gajapati's service is removed. And the third thing that happened was the lamp that they would light on Ekadashi Tithi, that they stopped. They stopped lighting the lamp. And that lamp lighting was not a ritual, it was a prayer that they would offer. And they stopped offering prayer. Anyways, they said, why to offer prayer for this Muslim fellow? They stopped offering prayer. And another worst thing that took place was, all his Hindu wives with their kids, they left the palace and went to their father's place. No one was there in the palace now. Empty palace. Now this was the case of Ramachandra Dev. He sacrificed something for the pleasure of the Lord, and it came in a very, very negative way, seemingly negative, where everyone was rejecting him. Everyone, the community rejected, the family rejected. He was alone. This is a very nice thing to note, that whenever we do something in devotional service, people around are not able to recognize. They would start rejecting some things. When Srila Prabhupada was doing this massive service of helping the Westerners to get closer to Krishna, when he gave initiation, when he gave Diksha to these foreigners, and he gave Diksha mantras and made them Brahmanas, the Brahmanas of India, they rejected all this. They said, we cannot accept. We cannot accept. How can this Swamiji do this? Even today, for that matter, there are some orthodox people who say, what is happening in ISKCON? The ones who have not taken birth in Brahmana family, how can they be accepted as Brahmanas? Now, this is a stupidity that has been taking place, or the mentality that has been there for a long time, and it's continuing even now. And literally, Srila Prabhupada had to face a lot of things at that time. Srila Prabhupada had to answer all these people. Why is he doing this? And what is the importance of doing this? In this way, when we start taking up devotional service, we will see that people start distancing from us. Like, for example, all of you sitting here. When we start practicing devotional service, when we start giving up some things, like, for example, when we give up alcohol. Now, alcohol, meat. Now, people in the office, they'll see you as if you're an alien. One devotee came to me, and the devotee was very sad. The devotee said, Prabhuji, I'm feeling very lonely in the office. I said, why? What happened? See, before I would drink, I would eat meat. So we would go together for team lunch, team dinner. And it was so nice. We'd all sit together. They would chat, I would chat. They would have a peg, I would have a peg. Now, when I have given up intoxication, meat eating, now everyone is distanced from me. What to do, Prabhuji? I said, don't think too much, don't go back again. And literally this is seen that materialists, immediately they'll start distancing as soon as they see that you have given up sense gratification. Because they're scared. Tell me, they're scared of what? Yes, as all of you said. They feel that this virus that has entered this body, if I be close to this person, I'll also get that virus. I'll also give up. I was preaching to one of my relatives. We were going to Tirupati. And I was preaching to him. It's a good number of hours were there. So all the time I was giving class, 1-to-1. So at that time I was telling him that how important bhakti is and how it has benefited me. Then he told me that, dear brother, see, I really respect you. In fact, my respect has increased for you more. And I can see all these benefits which are there. I accept whatever you say. But see, if I start practicing, then I have to give up these different things. Now I have to give up all the sense enjoyment. Like any other preacher, I also said, no, you need not give up anything. You need not give up anything. Just accept Krishna consciousness. Then he looked into my eyes and he said, I know very well. Even if you don't tell me to give up, I will give up myself. And guess what? He has not taken up chanting even today, even till today. So in this way, people have that fear. You know why they have that fear? Tell me why they have that fear. Okay. They will? Okay, they have to give up their best friends. Okay, best friends. Okay, material goals. In fact, I see devotees attaining huge material goals. Okay, material desires they'll not be able to fulfill. Actually, their problem is they feel their shelter is sense gratification. That is the thing. They feel, agar shelter nikal gaya, sense gratification nikal gaya, what will do? And people have this question. When I was working, so on the lunch table, sometimes people would ask me, "अरे तू तो पीता नहीं है, ना तू खाता है, ना तो MG रोड जाता है, तू करता क्या है वीकेंड में? तू तो खाली बैठा रहेगा." Then I was telling myself, मैं खाली बैठना चाहता हूँ. I don't have time to sit. Our weekends are so packed. So the outsiders, they feel that these people will have nothing to do. They'll have nothing to do. I don't want to become like that. But how much do they know that we are the ones who enjoy the most? Every now and then a festival. Every now and then a feast. Every now and then there's a feast for eyes, for ears, for tongue. Again, after a few days, we'll have Rath Yatra. After that, again, we'll have another festival. And the next. Kartik month will come, one full month festival. And then December marathon, again one full month festival. Again January. And the life goes on. In this way, one thing every devotee sitting here should have a conviction that outsiders will fear. Therefore, they might not be interested to associate. They might be very fearful. But we have to be very clear that this is the actual life. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. This is the actual life. And when we keep doing this, we'll be completely happy and blissful within. And there'll be many people who will come and ask, how come you're so happy? At that time, we should preach and pull them to this place. And this is a fact. Why they are fearful? Because they're fearful because they've taken shelter of sense gratification. And we become fearless because we have taken shelter of Krishna. That's the difference between the two. Therefore, one thing is very clear, that even if people around us will criticize us, they'll tell, no, you're going on a wrong path, you're not doing this proper, not doing that proper, etc., etc. We should be very confident. We should tell them, you come and try with me. You come and try Krishna consciousness. And then you will experience the bliss yourself. But ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि बैठ के हम सोचने लगे शायद वो सही कह रहा है. Maybe I'm going on a wrong path. We don't know if these people are brainwashing in ISKCON. What is happening? No, all this nonsense shouldn't come to the head. We should be confident. Tell me, how do you get this conviction? How do we get this conviction, whatever I said now? By strong sadhana. What is the important anga of sadhana? Hearing. Now when we're sitting and hearing, you know what's happening? Our conviction is increasing. Our conviction in the Lord and the process is increasing. As simple as that. That's the power of Shravanam. My God, Ramachandra Dev, he sacrificed the treasure of taking darshan of the Lord just to save the Lord and the temple. And look at this, everyone rejected him. Everyone. Every single day, Ramachandra Dev didn't stop his daily routine. Only timing changed. Before he would come in the morning to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, he would get a royal welcome. He would stand in front of the Lord. He would offer his heartfelt prayers. Now the only thing that changed was Ramachandra Dev, in the middle of the night when everyone is asleep and the temple doors are closed, at that time he would ride on a horse from Khurda, he would come to Puri. He would stand at Simhadwara. There are 4 gates. One of them is called a Lion Gate or Simhadwara, the main gate. He would stand there and he would loudly cry to Jagannath. He would pray intensely to Jagannath. Oh Jagannath, everyone has rejected me. But you know very well why I did this. You know very well. I did this only to save your temple, O Lord. And I am sure you will not reject me. I am sure. Oh Lord, the only thing I beg and pray to you is, please give me your darshan. Please give me your darshan. Once. He's not asking every day. He's saying, please give me a darshan once. And like this, every night he would come, stand. No one is there around, pitch dark, and he would cry at the pitch of his voice, calling out, hey, Jagannath, Jagannath, Jagannath. This would be his cry. I heard about one Grahastha devotee in Bhubaneswar. Very, very inspiring. It touched me a lot. Somewhat similar. So during the normal times, every day he would come for Mangalarti. 4:30 dot. Even before the conch ring blows, he is there for Mangalarti. A Grahastha devotee. But during COVID time, even we had this rule in our temple that no outsiders are allowed. Now since Grahastha devotees stay outside the temple, they were not allowed. So even he was not allowed. And if you all remember the first wave, during that time it was rainy season also. It would rain heavily. So this devotee, he continued his schedule. Every day he would come and the main gate is closed and the inside also the temple gate is closed. The guard is standing there. He's not allowed inside. He'll hold the umbrella and stand there at the gate. And you could hear the Mangalarti sing the song, that is Guru Ashtakam. He would sing the entire Guru Ashtakam and all the other prayers of Mangalarti, then he would leave for his home. And this continued for entire COVID time. I'm talking about ISKCON devotee. I'm talking about a Grahastha. I'm talking about that devotee who was, I think, already crossed 60. This is called a sincerity. When I was reading about Ramachandra Dev, then I was thinking about this devotee also. This is what this devotee was also doing. Therefore, one thing is there, the time and circumstance might change, but a devotee's mood shouldn't go down. His mood should go on intensifying. Doesn't matter what happens in life. And Ramachandra Dev was crying and crying and crying piteously to get darshan of the Lord. So in this way, it went on every single day. Every single day. Now just imagine, our Lord is called as the most merciful Lord. And anyone who calls out to Lord, why will he not listen? I always say this, that Putana came to kill Krishna and Krishna showered mercy onto her. And if some devotee is crying to take darshan of Krishna, why Krishna will not give darshan? Ramachandra Dev, when he was crying in the middle of the night to get darshan of Jagannath, how can Jagannath control himself and sit on Ratna Singhasan? How is that possible? So it is described that Ramachandra Dev, one day, he continued doing the same thing. He was crying out, "Oh Lord, please give me your darshan. I cannot live without taking your darshan." And the Lord left his Ratna Singhasan. He walked all the way, all the ones who have gone to Jagannathpur, you know where is Simhadwar. Lord walked all the way to Simhadwara gate, the lion gate, and he stood in front of Ramachandra Dev. Jagannath Swami ki! And Ramachandra Dev, he saw the Lord, he was surprised. He was surprised. And as soon as he saw the Lord, he immediately paid prostrated obeisances to the Lord. He started offering prayers. And he was so happy that my Lord has given me darshan. And with that bliss and satisfaction, Ramachandra Dev left for his palace in Khurda. Now, Jagannath obviously went back to Ratna Singhasan, he sat there. Now next day morning, the servants came. The servants of Jagannath, they came to resume their service and to do Mangalarti. So when the servants opened the gate, this main gate, they saw the flowers were lying everywhere. And they were not understanding, because every night when Shayan is given to Lord Jagannath, the entire temple is cleansed very nicely with water. And when they opened the gate, they saw flowers. And when they followed, it all went till Ratna Singhasan, in Garbhagriha, where the deities are kept. And they were wondering, where are these flowers coming from? And they opened the altar and they saw Jagannath's garlands are not in place, the ornaments are not in place. They're all worried. What happened? Who did this? Who came inside? They're all worried. Now these servants were worried that someone is doing something to Jagannath. But they didn't knew that Jagannath is doing something to someone. Everyone is worried for Jagannath. You see, in this entire pastime, one thing that we can see is everyone is worried for Jagannath. They were worried that who is coming inside and doing this nonsense. But then since it was Mangalarti time, immediately they all started setting everything. They continued their service. And still there was a talk that was going on. What is happening? What is happening? Again the next day, at night, Ramachandra Devi comes. He's offering prayers. And guess what? Jagannath again leaves Ratna Singhasan. He comes to the door. He gives darshan to Ramachandra Devi. Ramachandra Devi is happy. He's offering prayers. And then he's going back. And then again Jagannath is going back. And he's sitting on his Ratna Singhasan. Morning, the servants are opening the door. All flowers everywhere. They're scratching their head. What's happening? And this went on and on and on for many days. And finally the head pujari decided. See, Jagannath is very, very reciprocative. He's in the mood of reciprocation. And especially those devotees who serve the Lord very closely, they have a lot of faith on the Lord. So head pujari decided that something is going wrong. So I'll fast. And Jagannath has to reveal that what is happening. Because we are not able to find out what is happening. So I will fast. So in this way he decided that he will fast. How much Lord has to bear, no, all of us? There Ramachandra Dev is crying. Here this person is fasting. I don't know what all things we also do. One devotee was saying, Prabhuji, from today I'm not going to talk to the Lord. I said, when was Lord not talking to you? I'm not going to talk to the Lord. I said, what happened? See, I prayed so and so and he didn't sanction. So how will I talk to him? Katti. I told him, come, you sit. I gave him a class on 9 stages of bhakti. So we might do all this nonsense. But when great souls, when they do such things, they do it for the concern for the Lord, for His pleasure. Not for their own pleasure. Because sometimes devotees imitate all this. I'll fast. That head pujari of Jagannath temple did. Ramachandra Dev did. I will also do the same. Nothing will happen. You will die. These devotees, since they have a proper mood to approach the Lord and to serve Him, Lord also reciprocates. And this pujari, he started fasting. And Lord revealed Himself in the dream of that pujari. And He revealed a very nice thing. He said that Ramachandra Dev is my great devotee. Jagannath is telling this to the pujari. And these were the people who were not allowing Ramachandra Dev inside. He is my great devotee and he has been restricted to come inside to take darshan of mine. But I am very eager to give darshan to my devotee. Look at Lord's statement. I am very eager. And then it is said, and every night he comes in front of Simhadwara and he's crying. So what will I do? So I leave Ratna Singhasan and I go there to give darshan. And that's how you see all that, whatever you see when you open the gate. Therefore, I order you that for Lord, for Gajapati, for King Ramachandra Dev, you should install my form at Simhadwara so that any time he comes, he should be able to get my darshan. Now this was told. Now next day morning, this pujari revealed this to everyone. And they all felt very bad. That, what were we doing? He's such a great devotee. He's such a great devotee and we were treating him so improperly. They all were feeling very, very bad. But still, as a rule of the temple, they'll not allow any non-Hindus. And they didn't allow him inside. But they started offering that special prayer on the day of Ekadashi, going to the top and lighting the lamp. They continued doing that. And as per the instruction of Lord Jagannath, they installed a very, very beautiful form of Jagannath at Simhadwara. And that deity is called as Patita Pavan Jagannath. Patita Pavan Jagannath Swami Ki. So even today, when you go there, if you stand even outside, you can see Jagannath from outside. Very, very beautiful. Exact replica of Jagannath who is there inside, sitting on the Ratna Singhasan. And he is called as Patita Pavan. The name was given Patita Pavan because since Ramachandra Dev was converted, and such category of people are called as Patita, and since Lord is the deliverer of such people, he was called as Patita Pavan. So even till date, those people, especially our ISKCON devotees who come from Western countries, white-skinned, black-skinned, they are not allowed inside the temple. The only solace for them is they stand outside and take darshan of Patita Pavan Jagannath. They look at the chakra at the top, and that's what is their solace. And somehow they try their best, from all the countries wherever they're staying, they'll come during Rath Yatra just so that they can see Jagannath, whom they cannot access in normal days in the year. Sometimes I feel that since we have been given this luxury of anytime entering Jagannath temple, anytime entering any of these big temples and taking darshan, we might not realize the importance of it. Just imagine if someone tells us that the doors are closed for you, you should cry like Ramachandra Dev. We say, "Theek hai, rehne do, I'm going back to Bangalore." It's okay, no issue. I'll see online. I'll see online. We might not understand all this, but these devotees, they have proved it through their devotion, that how through their exemplary devotion, they can pull the Lord out from his Ratna Simhasan to the door and take darshan of the Lord. And Lord was not forced, but Lord came by his own will to shower the mercy. Therefore, I always say this, that understanding this, how this was sacrifice of one's treasure, devotional service, and all the intensity that we can see in Ramachandra Dev's pastime, somehow this faith has to be developed in the Lord. The sincerity has to be developed in the Lord. And we should continue practicing bhakti in the association of the Lord. And one thing which we should always tell ourselves is, anything I do for the pleasure of the Lord, pleasure of Lord Sri Krishna, Krishna will never cheat me. This is a statement which a devotee should always meditate on. Krishna will never cheat me. And Krishna is like that. Any devotee who is sincere, Krishna is ready to go to any extent to serve that devotee. And the devotee is ready to go to any extent to serve Krishna. And this is what we are expected to do. We might not be that missionary like Ramachandra Dev or Regia or anyone whom we spoke about. But at least little missionary spirit is needed so that with this missionary spirit, we can perfect our life and attain Krishna's lotus feet. And again, I would like to highlight, not everyone is allowed to enter such temples. Only very, very fortunate people are allowed to enter such temples. Even if I'm not wrong, in Sri Rangam also. Even in Sri Rangam, foreigners are not allowed inside the temple. Only the fortunate ones are allowed to enter the temple. And somehow, in this life, don't know what we did. By mistakenly, we have got this fortune of being a Sanatani, taking birth at this time when ISKCON is flourishing. And somehow, by Lord's mercy, we have got some inclination to be part of this movement. And we have got some understanding of devotional service. Now, there is no chance of missing the bus. We have to just be in the bus called Goloka Express and go back, home back to Godhead, to Sri Goloka Vrindavan. Thank you very much. Jagannath Swami ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai Sudarshan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.